All right, more breaking inputs coming in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. According to sources, in the meeting that was chaired by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Indian Air Force Chief Marshal AP Singh were also present along with other officials. The meeting discussed all issues related to the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir, and the issue is expected to be discussed in further detail in the Cabinet Committee on Security CCS meeting likely to be held today. What we're given to understand is that primary information regarding the terror attack and action report has been discussed in the meeting, and constructive action plan to be discussed in the CCS meeting now. Rishabh is joining us on the broadcast. Rishabh, all eyes on what action is going to be taken, because that's the only demand that is coming in from every quarter and every corner of this country. Harshest punishment, strictest punishment, and a very, very strong message from India.
Well, definitely, a retaliation is something that everyone is looking forward to. What happened in Pahalgam is something that has enraged the whole country. 1.4 billion people of India right now wants the lives of 27 innocent civilians who were on vacation at a picnic spot being killed. They want revenge for that, and that's the reason that from every nook and corner of the country we are sharing it, whether on social media, on television sets, everywhere. Whoever is speaking, they say that a retaliation of a sort that will send a loud and clear message is required. We are here at the South Block, where a meeting that lasted for 3 odd hours, chaired by Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri. In attendance was NSA Ajit Doval, the service chiefs of Army, Air Force and Navy, as well as Chief of Defence Staff. What was discussed in the meeting? Multiple avenues were discussed, multiple options were discussed. Remember, there is a CCS meeting later in the day that will be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Defence Minister wants to have a concrete plan, and not one but 3 to 4 options that would be put on table in front of Prime Minister to give a go ahead for. Remember, the similar meetings happened ahead of the surgical strike when Uri happened, or the air strike when Pulwama happened. Now all the defence chiefs, be it General Dwivedi, the Upendra Dwivedi, the COAS, or for that matter Marshal AP Singh, or Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, all the forces would have put forward their preparedness, their readiness, and what all options they feel are feasible right now to send a strong message. This could include military, non-military, executive, all kind of option. So now Defence Ministry has charted a plan, multiple plans for that matter. We are given to understand that 3 to 4 options have been zeroed upon by the service chiefs, NSA and Raksha Mantri, that would be put forward in CCS as well. So all eyes on CCS now. That happens later in this evening. That what will India's retaliation would look like? How will India punish these terrorists who have left 27 of our countrymen dead in cold-blooded manner?
Absolutely, Rishabh. In fact, not just from within India, but from global leaders as well. Messages pouring in, showing solidarity, standing in solidarity with the victims, standing in solidarity with India, and once again firming the resolve that India should fight back, and we need to fight back together as one nation without any divide against terrorism. And this support matters, isn't it?
Well, definitely. See, from United States, Donald Trump did a phone call with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Russian President Putin sent a message for both President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, showing his condolence. Condolence came in from Saudi Arabia. Condolence came in from almost every country, from Armenia to Azerbaijan to Turkey to Myanmar to Nepal, except 2 of our neighbors who haven't, sent a condolence message: Pakistan and Bangladesh. There hasn't been any word from these 2 countries as of now. Sri Lankan president has sent a condolence message. Almost every embassy here in New Delhi has released their condolence message. They have spoken to leaders, their counterparts in Indian government as well. Foreign ministers have dialed our External Affairs Minister as well. A global condolence, a global support for that matter has come with India, given that how how much of cold-blooded manner the terror attack last evening took place. But except the two countries, Pakistan says that it's homegrown terror, where the intelligence sources now confirm to us that there were Pakistan handlers involved in this very terror attack. Bangladesh, for that matter, hasn't said a
Well, Bangladesh
single
also
message.
released a press release, Rishabh, condemning the terror attack. We have some breaking inputs coming in at the moment. Stay on with us, Rishabh. Let's shift our focus to the breaking inputs that we are getting. In the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack, the Civil Aviation Minister has warned airlines against price surge. Strict instructions have been given to airline companies. Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu has issued these instructions in wake of the tragic terror attack. Let me go across to Isha for more on this. So the Civil Aviation Minister has made it absolutely clear, in fact, in a way, warned the airlines to not charge more, to not surge the prices in such a difficult time, in such a tragic time.
Right, Swati, this is a time of absolute crisis, and now the Civil Aviation Minister has stepped in and stated that all the airlines will be monitored and there will be no price hikes that can take place. In fact, in his tweet on the social media platform X, he's also stated that there are more airlines being added to further facilitate the arrival from Srinagar to the national capital and from all across the country if needed. You can see here as well, there is a lot of hustle and bustle here at the airport as well, and the Civil Aviation Minister has warned the airlines, as you were also pointing out, that no airline will be allowed to charge any surge pricing.
All right, instructions are very clear from the Civil Aviation Minister. He's speaking about how this is a tragic terror attack and how constant efforts are being made to ensure safe travel of tourists from Srinagar. And these instructions were given to the airline companies to avoid any fare surges, because at the moment the priority should be to ensure that people go back to their homes safely, without having to face hassles of price surge or flight changes. On your screens, in fact, is that tweet that has been put out by the Civil Aviation Minister. Let me take you through that, and I quote, "In the wake of the tragic terror attack, we are constantly making efforts to ensure safe travel of tourists from Srinagar. Strict instructions were given to airline companies to avoid any fare surges. Fares are being monitored and kept at reasonable levels. In addition to the 4 extra flights already announced, 3 more flights to Delhi have been added for today." And he's speaking about the airlines, which is Indigo and SpiceJet flights, scheduled to depart at around 10:30 p.m. All airlines operating from Srinagar have waived cancellation and rescheduling charges to support passengers. Food and water being provided at the airport, and an extra tent has been set up outside for those waiting. And the Civil Aviation Minister also assuring that he's personally monitoring the situation, as in constant touch with Home Ministry and the airline operators.
Okay, don't worry. You okay? You need a water, sir?